Mayan. The Maya actually stayed here in the Central America and they leave so many mysteries that we still are unfinding them, like the ruins and the ATM caves and stuff like that. That's what.
Don't they have that in Guatemala and Mexico too?
Well, not as much as in Belize.
Really?
Yeah, because in Guatemala I know only Tikal and certain ruins here. We have a lot of ruins in this Belize.
Yeah.
Entirely, yeah. And a lot of caves, a lot of pottery, jewelry, and stuff like that.
The language.
Yeah.
There's a diverse language and ethnic group here in Belize. Although they do have a lot of ethnics in the other countries, but over here it's more like a big mix. It's like a big, yeah, it's like a big mix. You got the of course, American and Belizeans, the Garifuna, the Mayans, the Mestizos, the Yucatec, the Mopa Mayans. You know, all those different people. The people from India. You have some from Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
The Taiwanese, a lot of Chinese, so a few Japanese also. So there is actually quite a lot of people here, and the main language is English, so that's another difference too, while the Spanish language comes in second.
And you have the Queen of England.
Yeah, and the Queen of England also.
Well, first of all, it's our form of government. Well, apart from our people. Like I said, the mix, the melange of people that exist in Belize who live here, it's different than any place else in Central America, South America, North America. We have so many different ethnicities living in Belize. The second thing, probably just as important, is our form of government. We are British parliamentarian system. We are the only non-republic nation on the American mainland, I think. We do not have a president. We have a prime minister. Figuratively, the Queen of England is still our head of state. We will remain a member of the British Commonwealth, even after we became independent. So that in itself, we are the only English-speaking country in all of Central America. I think there are only 3 in all of the Americas: Canada, the United States, and Belize.
Right, Guyana.
And British Guyana. Thank you. So our language, our history, our form of government, our people, totally different. As soon as you cross the border, you notice it. You notice the landscape, it becomes greener, the people are friendlier, the faces are happier. Everything is better in Belize, honest to goodness. So we are different in that regard. We do not have any, we have a very free press here. We have not had one incident of any member of the press being killed for any reason at all. We have a very free electoral system, very fair, but probably more fair than any other and more honest than any other democracy in the world, because it's not influenced heavily by big dollars, because Belize is a poor country, so there's no reason for you to put big dollars in Belize. You won't get your return for your dollar. So in that regard, we are very democratic. We have elections every 4 years. We have village councils every 3 years, municipal elections every 3 years, and every 5 years for the national thing. But the Prime Minister can call elections at any time. But he must call it after 5 years, at the end of a 5-year period, unless in times of national emergency, which would be like a hurricane, some natural disaster. Yeah, we are a very free and democratic country, and that sets us up. We don't have a large military. We only got a military since we became independent. It comprises maybe 1,000 soldiers. We have maybe 2 helicopters, maybe 3 planes. 2 of those were probably confiscated, left by people running illicit business. So the freedom that exists in Belize, the sense that you get here, that you feel here, and everybody is happy with everybody. I'm not saying there's not discrimination on an ethnic level, but it's probably quite subtle, and it has hardly ever raised its ugly head So in that regard, and people say Belize is an impoverished nation. These are our current numbers, that we are poor, that we are 25% unemployed. But I will tell you, every single Belizean can get 2 solid meals a day, and not from the Red Cross or some charitable organization. At home, they have a roof over their head. They have a bed to lie on. So even though we might not have systems in place that provides for these people, we are an extended family by choice. So in that regard, Belize is not poor. You want to see poverty? You go to Guatemala, you go to Honduras, you go to El Salvador, you'll see poverty. You don't see that in Belize. If you see some guy hanging, looking poor, that's a choice. He doesn't have to be that way. Besides, many Belizeans have immigrated to the US and to the good old nice folks of the United States, and they send back, they remit quite a bit of help to Belize in dollars and in material things, clothing, electrical appliances. Another thing that separates us from the rest of our neighbors, we think like Americans. Belizeans do, even though we were colonized by the English, administered by them, and they left great systems in place, don't get me wrong. They left a great educational system in place, a good parliamentary system in place, but we think American. We want everything and we want it yesterday. The only thing that hasn't happened to us is we haven't realized that we can't afford it yet. So that makes us different also. There's a sense of freedom in Belize, a sense of free thinking, of doing what you want for the most part, within the rules and boundaries of law, which you don't get anywhere else. Not even in my good old USA. Yeah, honestly.
What's the main difference?
Yeah,
It's
between
no
Belize and the rest of Central America.
There's no difference because the only way because Belize is the smallest country.
That's the only difference?
That's the only difference.
It's a difference.
Yeah, the main differences.
The main difference is the language,
You think so?
the English language, because most of them are only Spanish language, and we are the English language.
Well, I haven't visited the rest of Central America, but Belize is, I think, on a much smaller scale. We're a small country. The people are very friendly. We cater a lot to tourists, tourism industry. What else can I say? Like we're a humble people, like I said.